Call upon the Honourable Ms Selwood.
I seek leave to make a brief explanation before addressing a question without notice to the Minister for Climate, Environment and Water on the topic of Adbri refuse-derived fuel trial at Birkenhead.
Granted. Leave is granted.
The EPA has approved a 6-week trial allowing increased use of refuse-derived fuel, including fuel containing plastic, at Adbri's Birkenhead cement plant. Local residents and the City of Port Adelaide Enfield have raised concerns about potential impacts on air quality and health and have called for greater independent oversight. My question to the Minister for Climate, Environment and Water is, why should local residents accept the risks associated with this trial when they have not been given no independent oversight of the process and will not see the EPA's final report until months after the trial has concluded?
Minister for the Environment.
Thank the Honourable Member for this question. As you may or may not be aware, Adbri has used reuse product for about 20 years in a part of their plant, which contains materials of a weight about 20%. This is a trial, as you've highlighted, that is different. It's my understanding is using the kiln as a trial process with the new reuse products as well. This trial on the 3rd of July in 2026, the EPA approved the application, as I am being advised, in the form of a pre-trial report. As submitted by Adbri Birkenhead on the 29th of May 2026 for the 6-week trial to utilise the RDF, or the reused product, in the facility cement kiln. The EPA undertook a comprehensive assessment of the application, which included the consideration of advice from the independent third-party engineering consultant and extensive cement industry experience. I've also been advised that Adbri's Birkenhead licence provide clear protocols for the trialling of alternative fuels in the raw materials. I'm also advised that Adbri was required to submit a pre-trial report outlining the duration and nature of the trial process and the nature of the RDF and the environmental assessment, emissions assessments. The pre-trial report was received by the EPA on the 29th of May. Adbri is also required to produce a post-trial report on the completion of this trial. The EPA mandated Adbri's public notification of the trial at least 14 days prior to its commencement, and during the trial period the EPA requires Adbri to undertake additional monitoring of odour in the community by external specialists, as well as additional dioxide limits, community monitoring for the period of that trial. The completion of the trial does not remove EPA's ongoing use of RDF in the Birkenhead cement kiln by variation of the existing licence. The EPA will continue to work with Adbri and the community, but if the community does want to provide any reports, we are most welcome to be receiving them, but also that the steps of a licence requirement under an EPA needs to be looked at and monitored, as it will be.
Supplementary.
I was pretty close. The Honourable Ms Selwood with a supplementary.
You stated that the Minister stated that the community were notified before the trial under the requirements. Will the community be continually notified as the process continues about the results of the EPA's findings, and will they be made public?
Minister.
I'm happy to look into that further, but my understanding is with Adbri there is a community group, stakeholder group, and we can understand and appreciate this is an industry that's been in the community for a very, very long time. And as the industry itself has changed, so too has the expectations of the community. And that is why there was a community stakeholder group, as I've been advised, to come together. It consists of members of the public, council, so that they can be getting updates from Adbri about what is happening at the site, and also in regards to the trial and the licence requirements that they need to meet. So happy to look to see if there's any further information for you, but as you would expect, there is the requirement that they must meet their licence as well.